everyone. Welcome to our latest edition of BookTrib Presents 15 Minutes with, a Merrill Moss Media production. Today we are chatting with actress, author, producer, dating expert, and lifestyle coach Brooke Lewis. She's known for the thriller I Murders, Miss Vampy, Breaking Dating, and honestly so much more. Plus she has a brand new book out, so we're super excited. She also released Mrs. Vampy's Teen Talk, which is a self-help ebook for teens, hoping to empower teens everywhere and make the right decisions for them, which we obviously have to get behind. Thank you so much for joining us, Brooke. It's so exciting to have you here.
Thank you so much, BookTrib. This is super exciting, and I wore my hotness shirt for all you girls back east, especially East Coast girls, girl power. Great, exciting time here.
Oh, I love it. We are so happy to have you here. I want to first talk, obviously, about coaching from a professed hot mess. Awesome title. We love it. Tell all the viewers all about the book and what's going on there.
Okay, so you shared my 90 bazillion career. So easily right there, that describes my very, very stressful life. And, I share because appearance and reality, a lot of my Twitter fans and followers and people and friends back east even think that I'm having this amazing life out here in Hollywood. And on one hand, I am, and I am forever grateful. On the other hand, everything in life is often, I shouldn't say everything in life, things in life are often appearance versus reality. Right. And so when things look so fabulous and when the grass is always greener and people get caught up in that envy and in that, I wish my life were different, I wish my life were more like his or hers, I am a hot mess. I own it. I rock it, right? And we all are hot messes at some point or another. And yes, I'm a hot mess sometimes with my frizzy hair in the humidity, right? But I mean, when we talk hot mess, we talk emotional hot mess, we talk stress, we talk challenges, we talk internal struggles and fears. So as my life coaching business is titled, Be You and to Be Fearless, and that's what the book is about. It's a combination of bringing together all my crazy careers, my crazy life, my hot messes, sharing it with the world, and hopefully helping you and encouraging and supporting you to share your hot mess too. Because as I say in the book, one of my favorite lines in the intro is, doesn't it get tiring trying to be perfect all the time? Let's break the rules. Let's stop chasing perfection, and let's, own our hot mess. That's it, because we're human. Everybody's flawed.
Absolutely, and it's so true, and it's something that reaches out to everyone. So I definitely think this book speaks to so many people. Tell us a little bit about your writing process. What was that like, jumping into it? Obviously, it wasn't the first for you, but was it different in any way, or did you approach it in any way differently?
Love that question, and here's why. Yeah, very challenging. And coming from a career of acting in a million different, mediums and producing films, which is one of the most challenging things in the world, I have to say to all of the viewers and to all of the other authors out there, this to me was one of the most challenging things I have ever done in my life and career. For me, and you can tell I'm very animated, I'm very, energized always. For me, I'm a speaker, I'm a performer, and so to sit and have the discipline to write, I mean, props and kudos to all of you writers out there. And the second part to the answer is, this is really a body of about 5 years of my work. I took a big break. I did the Ms. Vampy's Teen Talk, and In Between Talk show for teen girls. And responsibly, at that point in time, the economy had just crashed and life was very challenging. And so to be responsible to my show, I actually went back to school to the Life Purpose Institute here in San Diego. I'm in California, in Los Angeles. And I got my certification, became a board certified life coach, because I figured if I was going to give advice, especially to teens, and to empower other people, I really should be responsible to that. So that's how that all came to pass. Built my business, Be You and Be Fearless Life Coach. And from that was being invited, I think having a little bit of notoriety as an actress all these years, was being invited to write for Huffington Post, She Knows, all these amazing, Meet Mindful, all these dating sites, all these things that I was speaking and coaching about, right?
Absolutely.
So, yes. So how that happened was, and here's where my frustration came and the real inspiration for coaching from a professed hot mess. End of the year last year, I sat with my amazing publicist, Kat's PR, love you girls, crying my eyes out at the end of the year at our wrap-up meeting, and said, I feel like I am scattered. I am all over the place as an actress, as a life coach, as a writer. I've written for 200 articles, I should say, for different publications over many years as a coach. And sometimes you go back and you look and the links are gone. I have had to create and spend hours at night creating talking points for morning shows that I was doing interviews on. And you're excited about them, they come out great, and then a year later the link is gone. So where do I have to show all this work, all the stuff that I've created content, as you guys know, for other people's shows, for other people's blogs, for all the Q&A and Ask the Drama Queen stuff, right, that I've done. So I was like, you know what? I am having a total hot mess meltdown right now. I need to compile everything. And I say in the book too, when 3 people, for me personally, when 3 people mention something or suggest something inside of about a month's time, I try to pay close attention. And I went, you know what? Everybody, including my life coach, was like, why aren't you compiling all these years of amazing information that comes from your heart that you have to share, that can help other people, and put it all together and wrap it up in a bow for you? And so I did. And I went on lockdown between this and writing with my partner, Kevin Smith, not the Kevin Smith from Clerks, the other Kevin Smith, who's a brilliant writer. We wrote Vamp It Out, which we'll talk about later, which is now being pitched for a TV series. But I have been on lockdown, thank you, since like December, writing, compiling. And so the challenges around structuring this book and choosing what pieces were most inspiring to me and would be most inspiring to the reader, and taking from and really sitting and reviewing your life and career, huge. So that's really how this all came to be put together.
I love it. That's awesome.
And it's a long answer, but
no, I mean, it's brilliant, and it's just, it's so true, and I'm certain that you are not the only one to go through it, and it's just, you really sometimes have to look inside in order to get that answer that you're like dying to find.
Absolutely. It's all about digging deep inside and really getting clear and complete and really getting in touch with your hot mess. And that's what I'm talking about. What's in your heart, what's in your gut, what moves you, what touches you, what inspires you, and at the same time, what challenges you, what mirrors we're faced with that are there, that are so deep and painful to teach us lessons. And so I only hope that from my crazy lessons, and a lot of it's around dating and online dating, that's how I became the dating expert. I share in the book in different chapters, holiday tips, empowering women, female empowerment, because I own it, and I want you guys to own it and rock it, and just be like, you know what? I had issues today. I always have issues, and I fell, and I will pick myself up, get back on my feet, rock my hot mess, and keep going every day, because life is challenging.
Absolutely. So what can you tell, obviously you have tons of fans and followers out there, what can you tell them who either didn't quite know that you had the book, although I can't imagine that they don't know that, but just in case they haven't picked up that book yet, what can they expect knowing you, being a fan of yours, that they're going to get a Brooke Lewis experience from this book? What are some of the things that stand out for you?
That's awesome. So many things, although I think that they might be surprised by certain things that I admit and that I share. They've read a lot of my articles and writing in the past, but there are things in here, like my manager, Bohemia, Allison, said something to me when she read it, and she said, you don't usually share that you have health issues. And I think it's like a first. I share that I have had chronic health issues from fibromyalgia pain and chronic Epstein-Barr virus since college, so for many years. And it's in the book. I announce, because I had a reality TV show development at one point, and I shared in that they wanted to build it around me as a dating expert, that I online dated for 15 years and met over 1,200 online dates. So for anybody who's out there wanting to online date or online dating, you gotta keep going. It's all a numbers game. We can talk about that more if you want to later. But so I think that there's little tidbits around, I think that a lot of my fans know I'm a foodie because they see on Twitter and stuff and Instagram, like all the fabulous restaurants I go to. But I mean, I talk so much about my favorite restaurants and my favorite, Godiva chocolates, and it really gives a little bit of a personal flair to all of the mess, but all of the things that are also fabulous in my life.
Absolutely. All right, so I want to talk next about breaking dating, because I think it's a brilliant idea. You were the dating expert and host. What is it about the format of the show that you loved? What did you like about it? What were some of your favorite things?
Yeah, it was such a great opportunity. We did one season called Breaking Dating. It was 13 episodes. My partner, Michael Bronte, and I, one of the things I loved about it the most was that Michael Bronte and I, for everybody who's online dating, met online dating. And we just hit it off.
That's awesome.
So we went on 2 dates, right? And this is what I'm sharing with the world because there's so many, I have clients that come in and they're so negative around dating and online dating and they're like, this is a horrible experience, and it can be. However, I support my clients and friends and you guys that it can also be a magical experience. And I met my co-host, Michael Bronte, online dating. So we bonded and I was up for this show and at one point we were like, should we do it alone or should we have a male counterpart? He auditioned, tested with me. We nailed it. And so that's so magical about the show. And what we loved is that we had so much fun and we kept it positive, but I kind of kept it from the dating expert coach point of view. And he was like the miserable online dater. So we had a combination of everything that worked. And we were really honest. We talked about what made us each tick, male and female, with dating, online dating. We talked about, our worst nightmares with online dating. And we talked a lot about, just to share, with the audience, like the things that we were each looking for and not looking for, and I believe that a lot as a dating expert, and it's in the book too, you really have to get clear on the space you're in with dating, whether you're online dating or regular dating. You have to get clear with what you want, with what you're ready for, and you have to be honest about it. So that's a big thing for me in all my shows and all my writing. Okay. The other thing that I loved so much was that as a producer and creator of the show as well, I got to invite my celebrity friends on. We had to have celebrity guests, but so where better a platform than to be able to invite all your like besties, and a lot of my horror star friends came on, right? And like, it was just amazing.
That's so great. What did
Thank you.
Is there somewhere, actually, first question, is there somewhere where we can go back and watch those episodes, say if we want to, go
Absolutely.
pull them out of the vault?
Totally. In fact, the best place to go, you can always go to the network, T Radio V, but the best place to go, because I've got everything archived on my coaching site. So yeah, I'm trying to think of my brookelewis.com, but BU and BeFearlessLifeCoach.com has a plethora of all my hot mess, all my crazy career and life stuff. So we have a whole breaking dating section and all the links. If you continue the link, follow the arrows, you can watch the first episode and then it clicks on to the link to take you to all the archived episodes, the 13 episodes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thank you.
So what are some of for you, what did you find, and now that, of course, you're still coaching, and what are some of the topics and issues that you see kind of pop up over and over again with singles and them specifically in needing help in the dating world? Absolutely.
One thing that is a constant through line that I see, and I coach some of the most beautiful, and I say this, there's a method to my madness, some of the most beautiful physically and mentally actresses and gorgeous male actors and stuff in this industry in Hollywood for dating. And it's funny how we all share the same insecurities. And a lot of the times, surprisingly, these people come in and they're so desperate. And I coach a lot about be committed to whatever it is. This is dating, this is work, this is anything in life. Your dreams, be committed, but don't be attached. And I learned that in one of my Power of the Mind courses years ago. And it's so powerful because when we get into that space of desperation, and we all do it at times, we're desperate, right? For money, for fame, for career, for love, for relationship. And we try to, like that little Tasmanian devil, we try to force it to happen. Does not work. So I really support my clients and anybody I speak to, don't be desperate. Let it happen, because I think timing, really, that old cliche, timing is everything. I really believe it is. I also think that we have to be ready. And I think that it's so okay. The other thing I would say, another topic would be like, stop beating yourself up, especially my female clients. Stop beating yourself up for, I have girls that come in, I made a huge mistake, I hooked up with him on the first date, I made a huge mistake, I sent him, a naked photo. To me, that's a huge no-no, okay, with dating. But don't beat yourself up about it. You can't change the past.
Right.
You can only be in the present, right, and move forward. So that's a lot of my coaching with Be You and Be Fearless, too. Is, again, your hot mess. This is all part of your hot mess. Acknowledge it, own it, and then move forward. And so that's a big thing for them. They're really like upset about what they did last night. No, but acknowledge it, and make sure that you're clear that you make a powerful choice not to do those things again.
Absolutely.
And you know what I'm saying? And one other really big thing that for all your male and female listeners out there right now that I have found fascinating in the last few years, when I was online dating like a maniac myself, and I was meeting a lot of, as you get older, you're going to meet people who are divorced. So a lot of divorced men with children, and also a ton of my clients are coming in, male clients. More than ever, it's the wives, the women who are being unfaithful. And there's so much infidelity going on from the woman's part in the marriage. It's really surprising to me.
Wow, interesting. Really
Isn't it?
Interesting, yeah. So what I want to switch topics just a little bit so that we fit everything in.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Miss Vampy because she's the sassy Brooklyn vampire everyone knows and loves. And we last saw her in Love Bites, as I believe you mentioned a little bit earlier, which was also its own love and dating advice show. Has Miss Vampy been up to anything lately? What's going on with her? Any news?
Well, thank you so much. And she is truly my heart, soul, and passion. She is, for the viewers that don't know who she is, you can check her out on MsVampy.net or MsVampy.com. She is she's a comedic Brooklyn mobster vampire. So she is like the body of my entire work, which is, comedy, mobster movies, horror, my love of vampires, but she's now like a life coach, and she has a heart of gold and a great soul, and that's what she's my alter ego and who I aspire to be like, honestly. She's so fearless and so courageous, and she's just amazing, and that's why I think she's such a great representation for young women. And so like I mentioned earlier, I created a full screenplay for her, which we had hoped to be a TV series back in 2009, okay? And it's taken, and we had a deal, and then the deal turned around. It's taken all these years, and now I have the most incredible production team, and we've been writing the full TV series, TV Bible, and like a season and a half, and we're done, and we are pitching it, and we are in talks with networks right now. So if things go in my favor, Ms. Vampy, it's going to be Vamp It Out, and it will be a hugely powerful TV series for teens, for families, with music, with messages. I mean, my goal, it's kind of like a Glee now that it's kind of transformed over all these years, with messages from racism to LGBT to girl power to, loving yourself, self-esteem, body image, all the issues that I coach about. It's kind of like really crazy, right? Like my whole life here, thank you, comes together as Vamp It Out and as Ms. Vampy. So
I love
fingers crossed.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sending the good vibes your way.
Thank you.
Well, of course, thriller goes right along with that, and thrillers and mysteries, as we all know, are your jam. Have you always kind of known that you liked the scarier side of entertainment and fun and life?
Girl, they're so my jam. And I own it. I mean, it's so funny how it all comes together. So I was obsessed with vampires as a little girl, like wacky so. Like I loved, old vampire movies, and I used to say, bite me, like it was bizarre, right? So never in a million years did I think I would become a well-known scream queen. But after doing, I did Tony and Tina's Wedding off Broadway for years right out of college in New York, and got a little bit of notoriety for that, and then a ton of sitcoms. And all of a sudden, we created, which I was one of the executive producers on a film called Polycarp that I starred in, with rest his soul, Charles Durning from Dog Day Afternoon, and Michael Pare from Eddie and the Cruisers, for all you older people back there who remember that, and Streets of Fire, and he's amazing. And we put together this incredible cast that Ken Del Vecchio produced, and all of a sudden, this show airs on Showtime 3 nights a week. Universal Vivendi picks it up for DVD. It airs 3 nights a week for 2 years. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, my manager calls me and says, come to the office. I think they're dropping me because now I'm this famous scream queen, right? There's a stack of fan mail this high, and they're like, can we get your autograph? Can we have you come sign autographs at a horror convention? You're the new It scream queen. So I just embraced it because that's what I do, and that's what a big, point to this book too is embrace your hotness, embrace all of it, embrace what comes to your life. Stop fighting and pounding and traveling upstream. It's not worth it. I do it all the time, you guys, so take it from me and learn from my mistakes. Really embrace what comes to you. And after doing so much work as an actress, the Scream Queen horror community just embraced me, and I owned it and loved it, and I'm so grateful because they're the best fans ever. And so tons of stuff going on right now. We've got all these like fun campy films that Greg Lamberson directed coming out at around Halloween season this year.
Okay.
Killer Rack, right? Killer Rack and Slime City Massacre. I won the B Movie Award for in 2010 for actress in that film for Scream Queen, and that's getting a huge re-release. So there's all this fun stuff going on with all the horror stuff as well.
That's so excellent. And you just touched on my next question, because I want to get to a couple of fan questions before we wrap up. But that was a little bit of my question was, what do you have up next? I feel like you have a ton of projects going on, and what can you talk about?
Okay, well, I'm gonna do a spoiler alert for you guys right now, because you're gonna be one of the very first to hear. So I'm gonna give it. Yes, and especially I'm going to share it with you because you love Ms. Vampy. So Allison at Metal Babe Mayhem, she's awesome, and we connected, and she has this amazing metal rocker horror, but girl power, like merchandise line and clothing line. So we teamed up for this horror season to do a Ms. Vampy design and line. So we're going to have Ms. Vampy shirts and tanks for girls with a fun, her amazing artist is creating like a Ms. Vampy, kind of pinup style. And we're also doing one for Hot Mess, Rock Your Hot Mess with my lips, right? So there's so much fun stuff. So that's a big shout out right there. So you guys can all check out Metal Babe Mayhem. It'll be up soon.
Okay.
And, so that's awesome. And again, shout out to the 2 films that are coming out. And I also have a few films that have been out in the sci-fi genre lately that Neil Johnson directed called Starship Rising and Starship Apocalypse. You guys can all check that out. They're all over right now. They're all over like the UK and New Zealand and everything as well, and China. I get fan mail from so many places. I'm like, whoa, okay, that's how I know that a movie, ended up there.
Absolutely.
So their project. And one other shout out to Psychotherapy, which is a short film I'm super excited that I'm starring in with Ricky Dean Logan and I are playing opposite each other. He's from Nightmare on Elm Street, I think, like part 10. And what else? Stacey Lane Wilson is directing it, and she's my girl, and she's all girl power. She directed my Ms. Vampy's Love Bites. And Bryce Campbell, who's a dear friend of mine who works at Open Road, he's one of our producers too. So just a really great professional group of people are getting together to do this amazing short that is going to be a killer role for me to play. Oh,
I love it. And the setup. Very excited.
You're good.
We are looking forward to all of it, and especially everyone has to go grab coaching for a Professed Hot Mess. Love it. Love the title. So before we end today, because our time is almost up, before we end though, I want to get to a couple of quick questions. We reached out on social media asking, hey guys, we're talking to Brooke Lewis, send us your questions. So here is what a few of them are.
Awesome.
At VicM5 is asking a serious question. You hear a lot about pitfalls and dangers that exist for aspiring actors in Hollywood. What's your advice or warning to them based on your experiences?
Always, always trust your gut. Always use your brains. Do not fall prey to the false lures of, I can make you a star tomorrow. It doesn't work that way. You have to work hard. You have to put in the work. Study, study, study. Allow it to happen in the time it's supposed to. Don't try to make it happen overnight. Fame can come fast and it can go very quickly. So really follow your gut. Especially women, when you feel that weird, icky feeling, walk away. It is not worth the roll.
Absolutely, absolutely. Great advice. At Chaz Mataz is asking, where do you get inspired and the aspiration of it all? Where does it all come from for you?
Oh my gosh, I'm so tired and exhausted, which I say in the book all the time. I don't know where I get my inspirations. No, that's a lie. I get my inspirations from, honestly, my heart and gut. There's so many things I feel, and I know a lot of people share this as well, that there's so many things that excite me and that I want to do, and charity work I love, and I always want to help other people, and I always want to share my knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is power. However, I've gotten into trouble with doing too much. I still do too much, right? So now I have to really sit with things when I get offers to do even press. There's so much coming at me, and auditions, and or just offers for films. I've turned down films because it has to really resonate with me in my soul, in my heart. I'm touching my heart, soul, and gut. And that's a big tip of advice to everyone. That's where your inspiration should really come from. If it makes your heart sing, if it excites you, if it moves you, then follow that energy. That's really what you should be doing.
Excellent. Perfect advice again. And our last question is from Chris Carroll 50, and I feel like this is the perfect way to end. Does faith inform your work at all?
That's a beautiful question. And, I'm not big on talking usually about religion or politics, but faith is huge.
Yes.
And I think faith, belief. I would say I'm going to turn that move that over to more of a belief. And I think we have to believe. And it's something that I sometimes forget to do or can't get in touch with. I don't believe I can accomplish something or have something or get that movie or, and so I think that for me, getting into a very spiritual place and believing and trusting I'd rather say universe, higher powers.
Right.
I believe strongly in God. I just believe that God looks after each one of us. And so I believe that getting in touch with that spirituality and following the signs, that's in the book too, is really the best thing for me.
Yeah, absolutely. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Honestly, great questions, everyone. We thank you all so much for submitting and being a part of it. Brooke, thank you so much for joining us. It was a blast, and we went a little over our 15 minutes, but we'll let it go this time.
Because Miss Vampy and I, we can talk, all right?
Exactly.
I love you guys. Have me back anytime. We can talk some more. We can talk Miss Vampy talk.
That sounds fantastic.
This was amazing. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to my reps, to all the viewers, to all my fans on social media. I would be nothing without all of you.
We love it. And thank you again for joining us, and good luck with everything moving forward. We can't wait to get to talk to you again. And don't forget, everyone, go grab coaching for a Professed Hot Mess. Thank you so much, Brooke. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye.